Well, INFRINGE really was born from, for me, I've always done, photographic work and stuff, and always created image for, obviously, Tony and Guy and for TG. And there's always been that bit about creativity where, everything's kind of geared around products, and which has been great, and it is great. It's the world that I'm from and that I live in. But there's a whole other world out there to do with hair. We started INFRINGE, Anthropology of Hair, and it's about the culture, the art. It's about hair is the thread in all the people that use it as a medium in any way that they do it. Film, photographic, makeup, whichever way someone has kind of touched or worked with it. And that's what INFRINGE kind of portrays. I mean, we just had two guys go to South America to do a story on, tribes that, how important hair is to their whole culture. And I've got my other friend, one of my best friends, is going to Soweto in South Africa to film and to kind of get how powerful hair is to a culture that, in some cases very poor, but means so much. How hair has such an influence on people's kind of state of mind and the way they feel, and makes them feel good. And obviously there's our side, which is creative and shoots, and it's a magazine where you can do anything you want. There's no rules, there's no brief, there's no nothing. It's about being as creative as you can be and using the material. It's a material, a bit like Eugene was saying today. It is a material, and for us, it was a natural extension for me. Being a hairdresser, then being a photographer, always about hair, obviously, and then from there,
you've brought the industry in one place, haven't you? Really, in the book, there's so many different cultures and influences in there.
Our world is this big compared to what there is in hair. There's so much out there, and so many creatives that are not even hairdressers. I did a story on these two girls that are, they do dolls. And they're that big, and the hair on it, the Popova sisters, and the hair they've done is better than some of the hair I've ever seen.
I've seen those online; they're absolutely extraordinary.
They're incredible. And we went there and filmed them in Russia and talked to them, and so it was in their heads. And I think that the whole point of INFRINGE really is to elevate what we do and to show people what we do is something that takes years, and you're always still learning. It's something that you put your heart and soul in it, and it's very technical. It's very creative. It takes years to learn it, and give it the importance. I think from an average person, they look at hairdressing. Oh, it's the barber down the corner or the hairdresser that puts rollers in your hair. Yes, it is in a lot of cases, but it's also so much more than that. And I'm proud to be a hairdresser, and I want people to know how much creativity and widen the area. It's not just a professional element. It's something that to do with creative filmmakers, directors, and using what we do and what we have to inspire people to then create what they want to create. And I think INFRINGE is a creative thing where it's you're not really there to create everything. You're there to curate what's going on. I can't say the word. Curate what's going on, and so you can step back and you can really bring in all these different talents and artists and kind of communicate with them and see what they're doing and why they're doing it. And I think that's really what it's about. It's growing. Obviously you're working with the digital world, and the whole thing is changing completely. So it's got to be a platform where also you create a community. People need somewhere to follow and to belong to and to be part of and to kind of share their creativity. And I think INFRINGE that's what it's geared for. There's no ads, no products, no branding or anything in the magazine, and I want to keep it like that. We're going to do one a year. We experimented over the last 3 years, and we've done 3 great issues, and we thought, well, what we're going to do next? So much stuff out there that it's almost like an index or a dictionary of what's going on and what you can kind of be inspired by. But more than anything, I've always believed that, as a hairdresser, we've always had the credit, and it's at the end of the book. It's at the last part. Even in the trade, you never still get the credit as big as you should. And for me, the first thing, the hairdresser is the key. That is the main credit, not the photographer, not whatever. And all the other ones come afterwards. And it's about saying, what we do is amazing, and have a look at how good it is, And it's my wife, Pat. It's my wife, Pat, and we started this together, and it's something that we have a great team that really do the work, and it's really just having that vision and getting everyone on board, and it's become a very powerful family. of of people that are really kind of passionate about what we're doing. It's very much like what you're doing with this. It's great.
Wonderful craft.
Thank you very much.
And for us, it's inspiring in the sense that you can't do what you do all the time. Great hairdresser for a while, then you can do photography, then you lead a team, then you build, and then for us this is the next stage. Being publishers in a way that we can share. At first, we thought,
you've done everything. I think.
Well,
you've covered everything.
We thought we could do loads of shoots in it. We do maybe 2 or 3 for it. Because there's so much other great stuff out there.
It's great the way you bring everybody on board.
Wonderful artists out there.
It's always been our thing, to build a team, and this is what I was taught by my brothers. And and you can see that still with Tony and Guy, that strength there, and with TG. And it's about bringing and building people and sharing what they do and showing how great people are. Simple as that, really.
Tell us, how do you think of the event today?
Brilliant. Eugene's wonderful,
isn't he?
I think he's an inspiration to all the top hairdressers. Nobody wants to say it, but it's the truth. We use loads of influences of what he does. When we do our shows and whatever. Because he puts so much passion and time and creativity and invention to what he does. That it's inspiring. I think no one should be ashamed of being, inspired. It's a great thing. He said, you see people copying you. He says, well, I've copied this myself. And I think
there's a humbleness.
Isn't there a humbleness? There's a very much a humbleness in the room. I've got to say.
What he says is really good. It's all about how you're driven and how it keeps you motivated and energized to what you're doing. So building a team. There's no format. It's about drawing people in and making them feel really comfortable and being around you. And I think that's what he does.
I think that's what you guys did so well with that. You did very, very well with that, bringing everybody part of a family and everything.
And it's still what we like. I love people around it. One of the things he says, I love them to have a great time. Absolutely. It's about having a great time and getting them to, and you can have a great time when you're learning, because we're all learning all the time, learning and experiencing great moments, because, this life is one. You might as well have a bloody good journey while you're doing it. And I think whatever you can contribute and do that feeds you, that makes you feel great and makes everyone around you feel great, then you're doing good.
Do you know what? Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the gig anyway. If you like what you've seen, leave a comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.